Hi everyone, it's Ashley. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. Guys, as always, I am so excited to be sitting down with you today to show you what's coming to my craft desk. But I am particularly excited today because it is 50 degrees in Florida and we are officially going to start crafting for Christmas. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, I think I have just about a little of everything today. I have a few decor pieces that I'm going to start kind of getting back into the groove of things with. I want to start putting some Christmas decor up. Thanksgiving is just about a week away, and although I did do a little crafting for Thanksgiving, not much, I didn't find myself like overly inspired by fall crafts this year, which, normally I do kind of have more inspiration for fall. However, I don't know, I just wasn't really in the mood this year. So, with everything going on, I kind of have just kind of skipped over that, and we are on our way to Christmas. So I did go ahead and get everything cut out for today's projects. My first blank here is a little sign that I got from Walmart last year after Christmas. So it was 50% off, and I want to say I paid no more than $2.50 for it. Now I have made this sign over a few times on my channel. And with that being said, I did go ahead and lay down a piece of scrapbook paper. I just turned it to the backside where it's all white. And I use that now as just a nice white background for my sign. So once I'm done using the sign for this purpose, I can just rip up that paper and have a blank to use all over again. So bringing in a piece of scrapbook paper that I had cut off the roll. It is new, but as you can see, it's not quite long enough to fill my whole design here. So I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of transfer tape that I have sitting over to the side. We actually used these in last video. So I'm just going to kind of overlap them there, and that'll make me one longer piece of transfer tape. So with this design, I think I'm going to start with the lettering. Now, I do have a few different pieces to this design, and we will kind of see this come together. But given the nature of the design, I think starting with the text is going to be the best way for me to go about it. Okay, so bringing in my text here, it is the cutest little piece of text. It says, "Oh, Christmas tree." And I'm going to just kind of trim up my transfer tape here just to give me the best chance at getting this really nice and straight on my blank. Now, I definitely should have done this before I took the backing off. I just did not think about it, which is okay. As you can see, you can still do it. Okay, and then just getting that as straight as I can. I'm going to just use my fingers to press this down because once again, I am pressing this on to a piece of scrapbook paper. So I don't want it to accidentally rip my paper coming up. Okay, so there is my first layer. Like I said, it just says, "Oh, Christmas tree" in the cutest little font. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut a new piece of transfer tape just because the little stars are attached just like they were in Design Space. So I know that the spacing is correct on them. So I want to use that to my advantage here. So I don't want to have to try to lay them down individually. So instead, I'll just go ahead and cut a bigger piece of transfer tape. That way I can lay them down all at once. Okay, so just kind of using one of those little trees, I'm going to use that as just a little bit of an idea of where to put my little stars. And those look so good. I cut those out of a gold permanent vinyl and they look so, so cute. Now, next, I'll go ahead and do my little tree that's going to be in the middle. Now, I cut this out a couple different times just because I'm not exactly sure this pattern vinyl is going to give me the contrast I'm looking for. I love the idea and I really, really want it to work. I just wasn't exactly sure it would give me enough contrast between the white background and the pattern of the tree. However, I think that it actually looks super, super cute. And camera, it tends to kind of wash things out. So I know that it might be a little hard for you guys to see. However, in person, I think that the contrast is just enough. As you can kind of see and tell, I am going with a less traditional color scheme here. As I've said, my daughter is still young. She is 4, going on 5. So I still like to do a very kind of whimsical and just playful kind of Christmas. Unless it's something, particularly like that's going in a very formal space. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get our other 2 trees laid down here. Okay, guys, and here is how my first little sign came out. I think that this is so, so sweet. Like I said, I know that the middle tree looks like it doesn't have a lot of contrast. However, in person, it is so, so cute. And I absolutely love the color choices that I made. This is going to fit in so well with our decorations. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move on. Now, next up, I found this frame on a recent trip to the Dollar Tree, and it says photo frame. It is only wall mount. There is no leg on it to stand it up, and it does have a glass pane. You can hang it either horizontal or vertical. The dimensions are 11 by 14, which is what really drew me to this frame in the first place. It is a really large size, and I love the kind of natural wood looking frame. Now, I will tell you, the frame itself is plastic, it is not wood. However, I haven't seen like this large of a frame in my local Dollar Tree. So I thought for the size alone, it was a great buy. And I actually have a really sweet idea for it. I hope that it turns out how I'm imagining, but we will see. Now, like I said, this did come with a backer. It is just like a normal photo frame that you hang on the wall. However, I did decide to take that out and I went ahead and hot glued, well, let me say, I tried to hot glue the glass to the frame. However, I think that's like a known thing that hot glue doesn't really work that well on glass. Or I could totally be making that up and it just didn't work for me. However, I did have to end up going in with some super glue from the Dollar Tree. And that's ultimately how I ended up getting my glass kind of stuck to the frame without the backer. Okay, so I am kind of hiding my frame over here to the side because let me tell you, that glass is really, really wanting to blind not only you, but me. So I'm going to try to limit that as much as I can. But I do want to kind of show you guys the process and then obviously the finished result. However, if I'm not able to get a good shot, I'll make sure that I put a really nice photo on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me there and you're looking for some photos of some of the crafts that I have done or how I style them, that is a great place to look. I will say with anything else, I have my moments. Sometimes I keep up with it and sometimes I don't, but I try and it is there if you ever want some inspiration. So, in the caption of my last video, I mentioned that my family and I took a vacation to Connecticut. That is where my husband is from, and that is where all of his extended family still lives. So, we had the best trip. I absolutely needed that trip so, so much. The weather was beautiful. However, today is exactly 1 week since we left, and they actually got their first snow of the season today. So my husband texted me this morning, I was still sleeping, and he said we missed snow by 1 week. And I don't know, I'm kind of bummed by that because I have still never seen snow. And either has my daughter, which, she's only 4, so that's a little more understandable. However, I am not 4 and I have not seen snow. So I think that later in the year or the beginning of next year, we're going to try to take just a really quick road trip and try to see some snow because I just feel like this is the year for me to do it. So, with that being said, we had the best time in Connecticut. His family is so, so sweet and just the best host. My daughter got to see a pile of leaves for the first time, and well, that just laid down on me, so let's see how straight it is. Okay, not bad. I mean, honestly, there's nothing I can really do about it now, so it is what it is, but I don't think it looks too bad. We'll see in just a second. But like I was saying, my daughter saw her pile of leaves, and it was the cutest thing because her first instinct was to jump in them. And oh my goodness, she had the time of her life. The weather in Connecticut was beautiful, and I just could not have asked for a better trip. So thank you guys for your patience and kind of welcoming me back with open arms. I will say I was out having fun and it was just the best trip ever. Okay, so here is how my little sign came out. Well, actually, my pretty big sign. Like I said, I will try to get some photos on Instagram because I know that it is a little difficult for you to see with the glare. I do have just a small little bubble here. I'm going to try to work out because it's bothering my eye. Okay, I think that's a little better. But here is how the frame came out. I think that this is so sweet. I absolutely love the simplicity of it, but just look how like clean and classic this looks. I plan to set this like on a bookshelf and I'll put some other things in front of it, and I just think this is so cute. I absolutely love the way it came out. Okay guys, that's craft number 2. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so bringing in my third blank here, you guys have seen this one other time. My mother-in-law got me this beautiful ornate frame. It is a picture frame. However, I have chosen to use it as some decor for the time being. So this frame in particular holds a 10 by, no, yeah, an 8 by 10 photo, but it is in more of like an oval shape, not necessarily like your standard square 8 by 10. This is how I have had it decorated and displayed in our bedroom. So it just says, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it is just so sweet. And I just love the frame. So I think anything that I put in the frame just automatically looks 10 times cuter. So, in the name of Christmas, I am going to take this opportunity to just kind of change my design here. So this is just the original like piece of art that came in the frame that tells you the dimensions. So I'm going to use the back of that to lay my design down on. You could also just use, again, the back of a piece of scrapbook paper or just, any paper, honestly. You could use a pattern paper, you could use a colored paper. I'm going to just go with, again, just the plain white paper because I really want the focus to be my design here. And because I love this frame so much and it is in our bedroom, I thought that a sweet little mistletoe would be so cute. So I just brought in my Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. That's how I'm going to choose to lay down my mistletoe. You can absolutely feel free to use anything that you like. I guess I should mention that would help. I did cut the mistletoe itself out of paper because I didn't have any vinyl that was the color of green that I wanted for my bedroom. I wanted like a more darker kind of like toned down green. So I know that this still isn't like the dark Christmas green that we're all kind of used to. However, it is darker than any vinyl that I had. And I also just like the tone of it. I think it's going to work great. So with that being said, just weeding my last little element here. Now I did cut this part out of vinyl, and it's just the sweetest little bow that's gonna go right at the top of my mistletoe. Okay, and then moment of truth, let's get this back into our frame. Okay, guys, and here is how my frame came out. I absolutely love this. This has probably got to be like top 5 crafts I've made. I know it's so simple, but I mean, honestly, for Christmas decoration, I think that it is so, so sweet. It's so classic, and I just absolutely love the look of it. All right, guys, that is craft number 3. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, now bringing in my fourth blank here, I have this 2-pack of dish towels. This is from the Target Dollar Spot. They were $5 for 2. So one side has this really pretty kind of like fern leaf. What is this? Like pine needles, I think they're called. Pine needles and stars. And then this side is just a really pretty dark green pattern. And then it has the dark green tassels, which I am a sucker for tassels. So this is the one we're going to be working with today. And I decided to just go with a very simple Merry Christmas. This is going to hang from my stove. You know, I'm not looking for anything crazy. I thought that just a really sweet, delicate little sentiment would be right up my alley as of right now. You know, I always say my decorations are liable to change at any given moment. So for now, I am feeling this very just kind of classic, almost kind of like vintage Christmas. I am loving that vibe. But we will see kind of where things take us as the season progresses, right? Okay, so just really quickly going through and weeding my design. Okay, I abandoned the dot to my eye, but I did notice and I rescued him, so he's back with the crew. We are all good. Okay, so bringing in my Easy Press Mini, I do have it warmed up to medium heat, which is the 2 wavy lines. I'm going to just kind of focus on the area that I'm going to press in. And I am going to choose to leave my napkins exactly folded as they are, just because they're so perfectly folded, and this is exactly how they're going to hang from the oven. So just to make sure that I get it as nicely as I can, I'm going to just leave it just like this. I did take my heat press mat and just put it right under the one we're working with. And I think that looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and press that. Now, giving this a little bit of pressure, I am going to do this for probably about 30 seconds, making sure that you're keeping your Easy Press Mini in motion. It is made to be moved around, so make sure that you are giving every area of your design some heat. Okay, and I think that should be good. So I'm going to turn this over and just let it cool down for just a moment. I'm really trying to convince my husband that we should move to Connecticut sometime in the future. I absolutely fell in love with all the homes that I saw in Connecticut. And when we got back, I was like trying to figure out like what it was about these homes that I just absolutely fell in love with, which obviously part of it was just they're beautiful and old and immaculate. But it's like coming back to Florida, I realized I really miss walls, which sounds funny, but I don't know. Most homes in Florida are kind of like an open floor plan or open concept, which includes my home. And let me tell you, I need a home with more wall space because I could do so many more crafts if I had more walls, right? So we'll see. I will keep you guys updated with how that's going, but so far we are staying put. Okay, guys, here is my fourth craft all done. Like I said, it is super simple, but how much character and how much cuter did that simple little addition make this hand towel, right? And then just doing it out of that red glitter iron on honestly just takes it up even more. I absolutely love the way this came out. Okay, guys, so I actually have one more craft, but it is not Christmas related. So if you're only here for the Christmas crafts, I completely understand. This is where I will say goodbye. However, I do have one really special craft that I need to get done, and I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay, so last but not least, I have mentioned before my daughter is in pre K. She absolutely loves school. She loves her teacher. She has been with her particular teacher for 2 years now. And unfortunately, her teacher is moving. So I need to make a little thank you card for her. It is officially her last day today. And although I am so happy for her move and for her journey, I am definitely sad because my daughter has definitely gotten to know her and love her and love the environment that she has cultivated in the classroom. So, with that being said, I do have to make her a little thank you card for all that she has done. She is, the first teacher that she is the first person, we ever like left Amelia with outside of our family. And she has done nothing but really truly kind of help Amelia along and make that transition as smooth as possible. So we are so sad to see her go. But we will soon get a new teacher and I'm sure she will be just as great. So with that being said, you guys did see that I had a couple different card bases I was considering using. However, I think this one is the cutest, so I'm going to go with this one. And just simply going through now and adding some foam tape to the back of our card. Probably do just a couple more on the sentiment here, just because I am a little neurotic. Okay, and as I go through and get all the backs off my foam tape, when I turn this over, I have to point out something to you guys that I thought was super exciting. I might be late because I honestly haven't even turned on my Cricut in probably like 2 weeks. So this could have been an update that came out and I am totally behind, which is okay. It is what it is. I was so excited to see it today. So my other selling point for my husband for moving to Connecticut is when you're like filling out a form online and you're scrolling through and you have to like scroll through to your state. I was always like super excited because Florida is definitely like towards the top, so it's an easy scroll. But I mean, honestly, Connecticut's even before Florida. So that's another one of my selling points. I don't know. He's not convinced, so we'll see. I'm still working on them. You guys let me know down in the comments. Have you been to New England or do I have any followers that live in New England? because the weather was beautiful. Although I have heard it is not like that for long. Okay, so as I turn this over, you guys will see that my text here is filled in. So I'm going to tell you guys the Cricut did that completely on its own. So it kind of like traced the letter out like it was going to do normally, but then it did go back in and fill in all that space. So I was super excited to see that because in the past you would get like hollow letters. It didn't have an option for you to like fill in your lettering. So I was so excited to see that. But here is my finished little thank you card. It is super simple, but super, super sweet. I had to get this to her today. It is officially her last day. So this is what brought me into my craft room today because I needed to get it done. However, just the sweetest little card, and I will write a sweet message to her and include a gift card. Okay, guys, that's all the crafts I have for today. I hope that kind of beginning Christmas was just as exciting for you as it was for me. I hope that I see you guys so, so soon. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.